What's really good, bozos, bullies, backbreakers, babies, and buffoons? We are back with another episode of the Broadcast Boys podcast. It's going down, basement.
They're babies, I promise. At least that's what we thought of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Bro, the basketball gods, they humble the Knicks fan base faster than any other fan base in the league. We can't have a moment to feel good about ourselves.
Well, to be fair, we did watch Game 2 of Knicks Cavs at a very cursed location, somewhere in the depths of Brooklyn, which I'm accrediting the majority of the blame for the loss.
Agreed. We watch games there, and we consistently lose. Pretty sure I've seen the Yankees lose there before, too.
I'm sure. I mean...
But they are fantastic hosts, and we appreciate you guys having us over, but we'll never be back.
Deuce, what do you have to say about your New York Knicks last night? Kenny Beecham went on First Take and predicted it and called it. He had nothing to worry about after Game 1, and they came out. It was an absolute romp and embarrassment.
First and foremost, let me be clear. Kenny Beecham, one of my close friends, one of my confidants, one of my brothers. Proud to see him on ESPN, seeing him on First Take, doing his thing with Stephen A. Smith. It's a dream come true. Salute to you, my boy. But the energy you brought about the Knicks really pisses me off because then we lost. I'm blaming you solely.
He said some very unforgivable things to Molly Cameron and them boys out in South Street Seaport. How could you, Kenny? You know the world is watching.
We sat in a Sprinter van and we were watching Knicks games together.
The first game of the season.
Thought that meant something to you.
The first game of the season, matter of fact.
Unbelievable. But it's all good. We're still proud of you. You're still doing your thing. But, yeah, the Cavaliers came back, and they responded in a big way to the Knicks after Game 1. We went 1-1 on the road. That's all that we were supposed to do. We're supposed to steal one, then we got to go home and protect the Garden.
I expected their big man to be bullies in this series because I know their defensive stalwarts and Allen and Mobley and them boys out in Cleveland are playing in the Quicken Loans Arena where LeBron and them boys used to play at St. Vincent St. Mary in Akron, Ohio. Grew up in the projects with a single mother. Became the greatest basketball player of all time. Where was I? Yes, the big man. I knew they'd be good at defense, but the guards were impressing me. How'd they have us on lockdown?
Bro,
Garland and Mitchell? No, you didn't. You said you hate small backcourts and they can't play defense.
No, that was what I said a long time ago. I'm talking about what I said recently about Garland being a difference maker in the series. I said Donovan Mitchell was going to be Donovan Mitchell. But it's all good. We're 1-1. We're going into Game 3. We're doing fine. Knicks fans everywhere. Be easy. Chill out. We going to be all right. We got the Garden on Friday. Friday Night Knicks on MSG. Front row seats. Do it just to get there.
Isn't their Friday Night Knicks record god-awful? Didn't we look that up earlier this season?
Oh, yeah. We often lose on Fridays. But we have the best song. We have the best song.
Still a tradition unlike any other. We were watching on MSG. Maybe that was a curse, too. We got to switch it all up.
Yeah.
Everything changes for Game 2. Do you believe in superstitions while watching games?
I guess I do now because I truly feel that fortunes would have been better if the circumstances were different yesterday.
I do believe in seating karma. When I was a young buck, I really wanted Pete Sampras to lose, and I found a magical seat in my apartment where nothing could go wrong. And also...
For Pete Sampras?
I was rooting against him. He was too much of a bully. You know I can't help but to root for the underdog. Also, whenever my dad would walk in the building during a Jet game, they fumbled the ball. It was uncanny. Every single time he walked into the living room, they fumbled.
Damn, we gotta check the facts on that.
I believe in superstitions and karma in sports for sure. We will not be watching together the rest of the series or our lives.
No. We can watch together. It's just got to be at a different location. We have to sit in different places, and I have to wear a different hat.
Maybe we should go Drake, reverse the curse, and just wear Cleveland Cavaliers gear.
Should we just go all in?
Yeah,
Get me an Isaac Okoro jersey today.
I need my Osman jersey.
Ooh, Chetty really is the answer, according to JB Bickerstaff.
What surprised me more than anything last night is that iHeart was held in check. You come into this series, you know he's one of the few players in the postseason that's going to get his, probably putting up a 30, 15, 10 triple-double most games. And for him to come in and just be neutralized like that says a lot about Bickerstaff.
Every highlight from this Knicks season, if you think about it, has iHeart's fingerprints on it. Every single highlight. There wasn't anything that was done this season that my man Isaiah didn't have a part in.
He's actually an Afro-German.
A word?
That's what I heard from
So he's spicy white.
From a very reliable source.
Unbelievable. But yeah, man, it's Knicks fans, like I said, be easy. We all right. We do our job. If anything, the Cavaliers should be nervous because they had 2 games at home and they only won one of them. All right? Now we have to do our job, get these next 2 at home. Hopefully be able to win it in 5, but if not, Game 6 on the Garden floor, win it in front of home base? Are you stupid or are you dumb?
I feel like these series generally follow the same script, if you will. And I predict and have a sense the Knicks will come out firing in Game 3 with major help of the refs. Just like Cleveland was getting aided throughout all of Game 2. They should have won anyway, but the calls were very lopsided after we got out to a 12-4 run. Darius Garland shot 11 free throws in a half. He's a baby.
He
ain't getting touched like that.
He had more free throws in the half than the Knicks' whole team did.
It was a dub last night, no matter what. We need some adjustments.
It was rough to watch. And then Julius almost killed himself. Truth be told, we had left our friend's crib before the end of the game, so I didn't really get to see it because I was walking home collecting my thoughts. I saw the highlight of Julius Randle, 2 minutes left to go. I think they were up like 25 points. He goes up for a dunk, and Jarrett Allen levels him. And he almost fucking throws his back out. We could have lost him for the whole goddamn playoffs. If Tibbs would have just taken him out, we would have been fine. But he left him in there because apparently Julius wanted to get more reps and kind of get his rhythm, which is like, please get your rhythm. But goddamn it, Tibbs, come on, you know better than that, bro.
How has he not learned from the D Rose debacle of so many years ago? I don't know if they were trailing by 20 or winning by 20, but they lost to prime D Rose because he was just overplaying him in terms of minutes. All those brothers had to retire early. Luol Deng, Joakim Noah.
And D Rose is sitting there having a front row view of the same shit happening to the young players on the Knicks. We just got to see what happens in Game 3. We're going to be live streaming it, actually.
Ooh, we will, with a motley crew and cast of characters at Nelson's apartment. You do not want to miss this. Bleacher Report app, Friday at 8:30, co-streaming with TNT.
Straight from Brooklyn, me and the gang, watching the Knicks game. The vibes, high.
But if they don't win, we can no longer stream from there ever again.
Never again. I can't even live there anymore.
Yeah, we got to make drastic change. But I got a good feeling about this.
Me too.
That Knicks-Cavs series was surprisingly physical, but not as physical as Draymond Green and the Warriors. Not the Warriors, but just Draymond Green.
Damn transition god, bro.
Why? I don't understand why people were questioning his suspension. I watched the replay. I didn't see the game. That shit looked crazy.
Naturally, I think we see this a little bit differently. If he was running in a certain direction, and whether or not Sabonis did it on purpose, it looked like he did, he grabbed him up a little. He grabbed his foot up a little bit. Whether it was on purpose or not, he grabbed his foot up a little bit. Now, if you're stepping forward and somebody grabs your foot and you have nowhere to go with that front foot, this back foot is automatically coming down.
I need to see a replay because
he was walking forward when he couldn't do anything with his front foot once it was ready forward, and this one was being pulled back. It automatically went down, and it hurt him. And if this dude and them coming out saying that DeMontis got a sternum contusion.
Bro, he's 300 pounds stomping on his ass.
Did you see the end of the game?
No.
DeMontis Sabonis chest bumping every one of his teams.
So what? You could play through pain, play through adrenaline.
Get the fuck
Brett
out
Favre threw for 6 touchdowns with no intestines.
I don't want to hear that. Because if it was the other way around, he didn't step on him, but he would have tore Draymond's ACL. You think people would be in uproar right now? No.
Probably.
It was an accident. He didn't mean it. He plays ball the right way.
How are you making up fake responses to a fake situation? I don't understand.
That's how the world works, bro. Welcome.
If Sabonis intentionally...
Open your third eye, Brody.
If Sabonis intentionally injured Draymond Green like Nancy Kerrigan with a baseball bat, people would... You're right. They'd be throwing a parade.
They'd be throwing a parade for the brother.
No, I don't think it would make a difference.
No,
but why is Draymond Green putting himself in the position where we have to analyze instant replays of him kicking, chopping, and punching people?
He's out of his mind. He plays the game with reckless abandon, bro. We can't be mad at the brother for playing how he plays.
This is a very interesting potential change of the guard, though.
Nah, Draymond's out. You saw the Lakers said, or I saw on Twitter, I don't know if
someone
actually said it, but they said the Lakers said Draymond is a dream free agent target this offseason.
How? The shooting on that squad would be crazy. No one in the NBA are actually rivals. Everyone is friends, which is fine. Who doesn't like each other out of matchups that are actually realistic to happen in an impactful series? Maybe I feel like
Chris Paul and Steph Curry don't fuck with each other. No way they fuck with each other.
Okay, that's fair. It's pretty lackluster.
Russell Westbrook and
it was Patrick Beverly.
Russell Westbrook,
they made up.
Pat and KD. I still think that. I mean, they made up.
No, they go to dinner all the time.
All right. Well, maybe.
No, they do.
Well, tell me no. Maybe.
Sources say.
Either way, this dude Sabonis grabbed his foot. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. All right?
It was technically a great prize. To get him bounced from game 3, it's a massive game.
Well, the saying goes both ways. Draymond got a stupid prize.
Yeah, you just got to learn from your mistakes at this point. He really has not.
And Sabonis got a chest contusion, so another stupid prize.
The playoffs are living up to the hype, though. This is the most I've enjoyed by far throughout the whole season, and basically the only time I've actually watched.
The playoffs, man, this is just like the basketball fans' dream right now. We're playing every other night, a lot of really competitive games. You know, some of the series are pretty boring. That Nuggets series, pretty boring.
I mean, that's just a trash matchup.
Bucks Heat, boring.
They always play.
Celtics Hawks. If Trae Young, apparently he got the yips after he destroyed us 2 years ago. Can't hoop anymore all of a sudden. But hopefully he'll make some noise against the Celtics. But that one is boring.
I saw a compilation of the Celtics targeting Trae Young on defense. He actually is the definition of a fucking baby. It's very impressive how well he's done in his career because he's a turnstile. He's 100. Is he over 150 pounds?
Well, I mean, it's the same way that R.J. Barrett can't score on Darius Garland. You know what I mean? Like, he should be able to, but...
It was wild to see R.J. Barrett do the same shit that we do at the park. Say we're driving left, and instead of just going with the left, do the pivot and come back to the right. That's exactly what he did.
Bro, I made a living my whole career not taking advantage of mismatches. Every time somebody's defending me, it's a mismatch, and I still fade away or shoot a three. RJ, why are you being like me?
Oh, he doesn't have a mismatch, though. That's the difference.
He's a mismatch. Darius Garland's a mismatch for RJ Barrett. He's taller than him by 6 inches.
Darius Garland got samurai energy. You saw what he wore to the draft?
Darius Garland looks like a girl I went to kindergarten with.
He does have a little girl's haircut.
Yeah, man.
We were trying to turn around the energy last night. Garland, he's good, but he's getting way too cocky.
Who said that?
I was trying to turn the energy around, doing anything I could.
I was trying to flame him.
I feel like my teams always win that I root for that aren't my team.
Outside of the Yankees in the late 90s, early 2000s, and 2009, for me, I have a very bad track record of rooting for teams.
I mean, I have a worse track record of
rooting because you're a Met fan. That's what I'm saying. Outside the Yankees, you just don't win.
But Michigan's good at sports.
Well, there you go. You got
SUNY
Michigan.
Purchase. Y'all got Ice Spice on the volleyball
We got
team.
Ice Spice on the volleyball team. And when I was there, our basketball team, out of the 4 years that I was there, I think we won the division 3 times.
I should recruit Ice Spice to my volleyball team. By the way, tied for first place. I've been
Really?
to 1 of 5 games. Next week's the playoffs.
You only been to 1 game?
I've been busy.
So they're just better without you. Or they're fine without you is what I mean.
No, totally fine without me. I don't really. We have 4 Division I girls. They don't need any of the boys.
Oh.
Whenever the boys are in, honestly, we just fuck the shit up. What are the series?
It's kind of crazy to see what the Sacramento Kings are doing. Like, at the beginning of this season, I'm pretty sure we both made a video about how shitty the franchise was.
Not me.
You definitely did.
Yeah, maybe.
You definitely did. But
They deserved it.
I mean, when you think about it, this season is kind of a miracle considering that they haven't been in the playoffs since 2006. And even in 2006, they lost in the first round.
Brad Miller and them boys?
I think so, yeah. And then since then, they haven't had any box office talent. They had Tyreek Evans for a little while.
Boogie.
They had Boogie for a while,
IT.
who they ended up trading for Tyreek Evans again.
It was really for Buddy Hield, though.
But Tyreek was involved in the deal. So Tyreek got traded. Boogie came back, traded Boogie for Tyreek again. Then they drafted De'Aaron Fox, drafted Halliburton. They traded Halliburton. It was just kind of a shit show happening over there. And also, up until this year, there wasn't an active NBA player who played in the playoffs against the Kings. and Melo and LeBron been playing since the fucking Stone Age.
That's really crazy. They've made so many bad moves, though. The ones you just mentioned, just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, no, there's plenty more.
I can't even recall at the moment, though.
And you said IT. I forgot that IT was on the case for a little bit, and they let him go as well. It's just, if it was a turnstile for like mediocre to pretty good talent coming out of there, and then, just
well, they had some
going somewhere else.
They had some trash drafts. They drafted Stauskas above primetime talent. You know what was the most unforgivable selection that goes slept on? Remember Papagiannis?
Oh, my God.
Dude, this guy could not play basketball. I watched a summer league game. It was one of the most comical things I've ever seen. And he was taking over actually box office players. I can't recall which, but it might have been the KP draft.
Bro, also, let's not forget that they were looking to draft a generational shooter, but instead of Klay Thompson, they took Jimmy Fredette.
Right, that was just one pick before, right?
But, now they got Clay Weasley, Kevin Huerter. So that's not bad.
He really has changed the fortunes of that franchise. I mean, without him, they actually are not nearly as good.
Maybe he was the magic in Atlanta. Atlanta lost their powers ever since Kevin Huerter left.
I do love to see the slept-on story of Malik Monk in Fox. I don't know if they start together, but they play a lot of minutes together.
I think Malik comes off the bench.
Reuniting that college backcourt, though. Great chemistry, and that stuff you never often see.
Twitter says that's the new cheat code, reuniting college teammates. Brunson and Hart.
That's a cheat code. What about Tim Hardaway and Trey Burke out in Dallas?
For a little while, they were okay. Of that whole Michigan team, who's that? Trey Burke.
Karras is killing us.
All those guys. The person with the best career has been Timmy Hardaway Jr. out of that whole Final Four team.
Sad to say the Knicks might have been better off with Tim Hardaway Jr. than R.J. Barrett last night. We don't need anyone trying to create fake offense. We need someone to spot up and shoot.
First 2 games, 6 of 25 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. RJ, for the love of God, brother, please be better. Give me a better game on Friday, please.
If you're living in New York City and haven't improved your jump shot with constant access to Chris Brickley, I really have no sympathy for you.
Von King Park in Brooklyn?
Herbert Von King Park was mentioned 100 times. Last week was felt like high school.
Yeah, it did.
Just kept linking up from like 6 to 7 and not really playing basketball, but just loitering at the park. It was mad fun.
Because the city is getting hot again. The weather's getting nice, so we back in the parks. And, yeah, it definitely felt like the old days when we were standing in the park waiting for the little kids to clear so that we can shoot around.
Every time it gets warmer, it just completely slips my mind. We should just go back to the park and call games. We don't need to dress up in suits or anything. We can just bring the speaker and we could film it shitty. It doesn't need to be on a camera. Just bring a phone, right?
I think at this point, if we tell people to pull up to a park.
Especially the one next to me.
Yeah.
I see a few characters there that I know.
This summer, maybe we'll be back outside, back in the parks, on his block.
Earlier than the summer.
On my block.
ASAP.
This spring, this summer, it's coming. We're back.
Do you see the Paul George podcast hosts? It's a very typical white guy basketball host.
Really? Paul George having a podcast, though? I like that.
Do you?
For him.
Do you?
I mean, he should be playing in the playoffs right now, but if he's hurt, why not? Make yourself useful, make some content.
I don't know if he's recording at this exact moment during the playoffs. I hope so. I just don't really know what an NBA player has to say that I'm very interested in. And I would not blame anyone for thinking the same about me.
No, yeah, I know for a fact we don't have anything interesting to say.
But especially athletes, because y'all really all say the same thing, except for JJ Redick, a Duke scholar.
If they're talking about their sport, I definitely want to hear what they have to say. Outside of that, it depends on the person, whether or not I care what they have to say about other things.
In fact, I was thinking about this in my head, watching the playoffs, not last night's Knicks game.
Okay.
It might have been during Warriors Kings. I was saying basketball players are the best at their sport of all professional athletes.
What do you mean?
Like LeBron is better at basketball than Messi is at soccer, for example.
Oh.
They don't miss the ball.
Okay, that's
so
interesting.
Elite.
That's interesting. So you're saying if we put together the GOATs from every individual sport, LeBron over any of those people are more skilled at their sport than those guys?
Maybe not the GOATs. I just think overall in the league, like a 15th player on the bench is going to make 100 3-pointers in a row.
So
does that happen in other sports?
LeBron better at basketball than Ken Griffey Jr. was at baseball?
Probably. I mean, I have
no idea. I mean, I don't know either.
I never really watched Ken Griffey Jr. play. I only played the video games.
You just said Messi. I'm trying to think of somebody else. LeBron's better at baseball than Ohtani is at baseball. I mean, LeBron's better at basketball than Ohtani is at baseball?
Yeah, Ohtani really needs to focus on one discipline. LeBron can do it all.
This man is an amazing pitcher and hitter. He needs to focus on one thing.
But he succeeds only 3 out of 10 times.
I don't know. I think that's an interesting
it's probably very biased because we play basketball here and there, and it's so difficult. And just to watch them effortlessly succeed, I mean, being a thrill.
Being a professional in any sport is incredibly difficult. So
pickleball.
Salute to all y'all. Yes.
What's the easiest sport to crack? Darts.
I think if we're talking about the world pickleball standings, you're not in the top 500.
No, I don't play pickleball though. So if I did, I'd be top 5,000.
No.
10. No.
Maybe. You have a weirdly athletic build for pickleball, so it might work.
That's my sport.
Yeah.
That sport's going out the window soon, though. Once it's getting picked up on TV, people are going to turn on it because I cannot believe it's become a multi-million, potentially billion-dollar business.
That show I told you to watch on Apple TV, Shrinking?
Yeah.
There's like multiple references to pickleball in that show. It's saying it's the fastest growing sport in the world. Don't get left behind.
I mean, it is. But in terms of a broadcast, no, it's great for recreation. But in terms of broadcast potential, I cannot believe that they're real investors. Like Tom Brady. Is that really a good investment? He's proven to have a shit track record.
We need to get pickleball in the hood, though, so we can get the real athletes playing.
You know what? That's what they should do at DreamCon.
Oh, yes.
Instead of rock, paper, scissors, they should play pickleball. It's very easy to transport a court, paint on a court.
That'd be really cool, actually.
They would be breaking the rules 24/7.
Probably.
You would be good at pickleball, too.
No, I'm naturally good at most things.
Way too cocky.